and we're back. Hi, we are the Screen Sisters.
I'm Stephanie.
Oh, shit.
Oh, might be. Okay. Go off. You first. Go off.
We realized we haven't talked to you guys about
Anything.
anything. We've been on vacation for a month, so
Yep.
maybe longer. I'm honestly not
Yeah.
sure anymore. But it does say on our pinned tweet that we post videos irregularly, and that you can always count on, ladies and gentlemen. So we're gonna talk to you guys about the last episode of Hawkeye.
And when did that air again?
I believe it was December, 21st or 22nd?
I don't know. What day was it? Let me Google it.
Let me Google it. It was after No Way Home. Right.
December 22nd.
Ooh, that was a good guess on my part.
Good for you. So proud of you.
I can math.
Your math thing is so good.
I try. It's an uphill battle sometimes. So, Stephanie.
Yes.
What were your thoughts on the last episode of Hawkeye?
I think it was what it needed to be, but I also feel there's stuff left out. So, and stuff that kind of got switched around, because it seemed to me that the Jack Eleanor Kingpin type thing should have been a little bit bigger and heftier. You know, her working for him for the last 20 years. No, 10 years. I forgot what time it is there. And well, is it 2023? 24 over there? Okay. So she's been, yeah, I'm confused now. So she clearly had been working with him since 2012. And I felt like there was something else there, like something else like bigger. I did like when Kingpin did say she thinks she could quit her job as if she works at Goldman Sachs, which is true. And I like the idea that Kingpin is just kind of looking around, kind of scoping out New York, trying to figure out like what, you know, what's happening, because this is post blip era. So I think that he probably lost a lot of help and probably lost a lot of people who wanted to work for him. And he probably was having a hard time keeping, like, probably trying to like, oh, I got dirt on you, so you're gonna work for me. So it's just like, well, you know, my entire family just disappeared, so I don't want to do any of that. So I wonder if, you know, this is just his, you know, pulling at straws, trying to get more power than he had, you know, during the blip. Let's see. So just the whole Kingpin, Eleanor, and if Jack had anything to do with it, then yes. I just wish that story would have been heftier. I would have liked to see a bigger, like a bigger oh shit moment.
Were you a little disappointed that Jack just turned out to be a good guy?
No, I thought that was great.
Okay. I actually loved it. I thought
it
was quite refreshing. He just loved Eleanor.
Yeah, and see, when you look at it from, you know, her viewpoint, you see like shady older man and shady business, but like that was a really good, you know, 180 of his character. But you think about the first like 3 episodes and how he was kind of sketchy. But that's what I'm saying. If he was even supposed to have that end day period, because of it, just seemed like, I'm saying, it seemed like it should have been bigger. So if he had any part of that, then they probably just cut it, made him happy. I don't know.
Well, even to what you're saying about him being sketchy in like the first half of the series, maybe I wonder if that's why they included that scene of him mixing up his what was it, aphorisms, or he was saying them wrong, because maybe his interpretation of how he's doing things to him seems pleasant, but to us it would be like, what are you doing, you know?
Interesting.
So I wonder if
I like
that was
that.
kind of a, hey, he's not so bad, he's just different. So Kingpin killed Echo's father for. Was that ever answered or?
Was it? No. All they said was is that scene in what episode 3 when he told Kate that Kingpin's is hell bent on expanding his business.
Hmm.
And what's her name? Her father's name William?
I don't remember.
Uh,
So maybe her father didn't want to expand, and so he's like, "Bye."
that sounds accurate. Yeah. I mean, when you're in the business, I haven't been in the illegal businesses in very, very long time, so I don't remember how those businesses run anymore.
Right.
Um,
It's been a minute.
yeah. Um, I liked. Okay, I'm sorry. I think. Wait, am I? Are you? Do you want to say your overall opinion?
Oh, I asked you for your overall opinion, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, my overall opinion is I got so invested on finding out what was going on with the watch, and like I
Yes,
thought it
bro.
was going to be something bigger.
I
I thought
know.
the watch, like like our initial thought was that the watch might have been that same wristwatch that Stark was wearing in Civil War,
Mm,
right? And he pulled it over into a glove, but then I kept thinking like, what would Kingpin want with Stark tech other than like
hmm
weaponizing things? But like I feel like he has so many people on the ground doing his dirty bidding. He doesn't really need to be in the arms. But I don't know. Like he didn't
mm.
seem like the arms business kind of guy. So, and then I was thinking, oh well, maybe it's Justin Hammer. Like that would have been a fun twist if we found out, Justin Hammer was involved
I want Justin
somehow.
Hammer back in Armor
Yeah,
Wars. That's it. Okay, I'm done. You
yeah.
go ahead.
So, um, I think just that whole like watch thing. I don't know. I found very unfulfilling.
Yeah.
And I think it would have been cooler if Laura showed up during the final fight. Like if she just dropped in like Pepper dropped in Endgame.
Okay, but like, who would be watching the kids?
Them kids grown. Well, not grown, but they got sense. They,
Honestly, but
they'll
what's
be
funny
okay for a
is
day.
now that I'm thinking about it, do you think if she is Mockingbird now, since apparently that's canon, do you
Hmm.
think they've already started training their kids on how to fight?
Oh, probably, yeah. At least basic self defense.
Yeah. Okay, so yes, the watch I thought was anticlimactic.
Hmm.
And I was actually hoping that it would be like some direct line to like Fury.
Yeah,
I was hoping for something weird like that, or like it had some like Stark Tech or Pym Tech or AIM Tech,
yeah.
anything. It could have been Hammer Tech. Like it could have been something. Like
Hmm.
I agree with you.
Like leading into Armor Wars, I would, or yeah.
Exactly. Like the whole ground level thing, all of that to me was just like we're doing ground level. We're getting something that has to do with Armor Wars
Hmm.
because I saw the watch. I have to have the watch,
Hmm.
and
The
oh, they said all that stuff about the stuff that was stolen from the
Yeah, a
Avengers
bunch of stuff was
compound, the
stolen from
wreckage.
the Avengers compound. Hmm.
Yeah, so I was just hoping all this stuff would be Armor Wars, but with all the new recent updates for Armor Wars, I feel like I kind of know what's going on with that. But we could talk about that later.
Okay.
Okay. I really, really, really liked Kazi,
Yeah,
and I was really hoping that he wouldn't die.
yeah, I liked him.
I and I loved his relationship with Maya. I thought it was really sweet, and I wonder if that was the ending they had planned
Hmm.
on like
Hmm.
the first go of the show is him dying. But I really enjoyed their relationship. I mean, I guess there's really no room for him to come back,
Hmm.
so they're just gonna kill him. But
I
it
liked
would have been cool.
I liked too that he wasn't arch about it. Like I
What do you
felt like it
mean?
could have been really menacing about him saying that he was involved with her father being murdered. I felt like it could have been a really menacing thing, but it wasn't.
Yeah,
It was like this is the life we live. Like,
yeah. it's never personal. Yeah.
Right, right. Well, we did get clarification on Clint being able to make his own arrows, which, I mean, I don't know if
I
that
don't
was even a
know why
question.
that she was like, "Oh, you don't know how to make her own arrows?" I was like, "Okay, that's dumb, but whatever." Let's pretend like someone who's been an assassin for 20 years doesn't know how to build weapons. We can also talk about the best part of the show.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm going to talk about that last. I'm going to talk
Oh,
about something else first.
okay.
I did like at the end when the LARPers showed up and like helped
Yeah,
them. And I actually had this really that when I had that funny ending with them and Jack, I thought that was really sweet.
yeah,
But the fact that weren't the LARPers on every episode?
I think so.
Yeah,
I
except for
think
like the
almost
first one,
every.
right? Or no, were they on the first that oh
Well, they
no,
were the firefighters, then technically,
maybe.
yeah.
Yeah, so I really enjoyed that part of it. How did you feel about Eleanor actually going to prison at the end instead of like, dying by Kingpin?
I don't know what she's done other than kill that guy Duquesne.
Yeah.
Um, we didn't even see that. I felt like there was such like a distance from it that my initial perception of her wouldn't equate to her being murdered. Does that make sense? So I feel like
Okay.
jail is just,
Okay.
but I mean again it's that disconnect from her character. I felt like you and I had talked constantly about her killing her first husband.
Yes.
So
Oh man.
I
I
still
wish they
really
would
want
have
to
did it.
know if that had played a role at all in the script in any way. And so I felt like that would have led to Kate killing her mother, but it wasn't. She didn't kill somebody that Kate knew. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't think Kate killing her mother would have been justice for Kate at all.
Hmm.
Oh, but you're talking about Kingpin killing her.
Yes.
Um, and see that he shows up so late. I don't I don't even see what would be the reason to. Like there was no it wasn't enough there for me to be like, "Oh yeah, he can kill her."
Yeah. Okay. So I think I understand what you're saying. It just
Okay.
I felt like it took you a long time to say
I'm
what you were
sorry.
saying.
I'm tired, girl.
It's okay. Yeah, like I said, if that whole Eleanor thing was beefier, I think I would
Yeah.
have liked the ending. I think they probably made it very okay, she could just go to jail. Like we
Yeah.
could just have her killing our mom and going to jail. That's easy. I feel like all the stuff that probably could have been for that scene would have been like,
Do you,
made that scene meteor.
Meteor. Do you think they're trying to save her for later?
I'm hoping so because I mean, who doesn't want Vera in something? Like, who doesn't? Like,
She's great.
for real. Um, so how did you feel about I mean, I know the whole Maya confronting Kingpin then thing at the end was very comic accurate. So how did you feel about that ending, even though like like he's not dead?
It felt weird, and
Oh,
to me, it
okay.
felt a little out of place.
Huh.
Um,
Okay.
I thought it would have been a really cool. We didn't see them together. It's that whole thing again. Like we didn't see them together at all. I felt like it was probably one of those things where they probably had already started shooting Hawkeye and then found out that they could use Kingpin. I don't know. Maybe that's what it just seemed like he shows up so late, and I don't know. I didn't.
Like it would have been nice if he was like on episode like at the end of two and then like stayed until the
I
end.
mean, he didn't have to come in that early, but I just felt like the what was it? The end credits, almost the end credits of episode 5. But we already know
Yeah,
where
that
this road is going by
just being
seemingly,
us.
yeah, just yeah. maybe if he had showed up in 3, didn't even have to be the top of 3. Could have been the end of 3. But at least we would have had like 2 full meaty episodes of interaction with Kingpin, with
Meteor.
Eleanor. Yeah, Meteor interaction with Kingpin, Eleanor, and Echo
Yeah.
for that to really mean something
Yeah.
to me.
So though, just the thing is like it didn't have enough meat.
Okay.
So that's
But
like
it
how I feel
started
about
off
the
really
ending.
strong. Like
Yeah.
either way, I still enjoyed the series. Like I don't
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean each of them so far have been, problematic in their own ways, but
Yes.
I'm not going to not watch it again.
Yes. Okay, so let's go talk about the only part of this episode that meant anything to anybody.
Oh, okay.
Yelena Belova.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about the kid,
What kid?
his nephew, Jack's nephew.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Why don't you go back to jail?
Yeah. Oh man. And he said, what did he say about the wine? He said they'll be fine if you're still in jail.
Mhm.
I forgot about that
He
kid.
said, yeah, he said they'll be mine when you go back to jail or something. I don't know. Little
That
monster.
is hilarious.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Yelena Belova.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, so we've always talked about how she would have known, how everybody knows like these key details of what happened on Vormir, and
Hmm.
how maybe there was like a big like conference with like all of the Avengers being like, look,
I'm
we had
sorry.
to go back in
Hold on.
time. We
Hold
had to
on.
go what?
Sorry, hold on 1 second. Before we get to Yelena, how did you
Yes.
feel about Hawkeye? Did you feel like the series served Hawkeye as a character?
Clint Barton,
Yeah.
5 out of 10. Kate Bishop, 8 out of 10.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But I guess that would make sense because it seemed
Yeah,
like it
that's
was
the
really just trying to
yeah.
set up her character.
I think I actually would have benefited from a few more Hawkeye scenes that had meat. I get it. I feel like if Disney is doing their whole, we're gonna have these shows, so we're gonna put the really good stuff in the movies
Hmm.
and just like, give you guys these, great shows to fill in the gap pretty much. Like they're filling in all the gaps we used to have. We're like, oh, we have to wait 6 more months for the next Marvel movie. It's like, no, now kind of we have to wait like a week and we can watch like a Marvel show up until the next,
Hmm.
film. So the filling in the gaps part, I know they're not gonna have a lot of meat, but it's like I think they could have just like a little more meat. And I have not stopped saying the word meat since we started this call.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, how do I say what I'm trying to say without using the word meat?
Sustenance? Substance? I don't know. But yeah,
Yeah.
I
Okay.
get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Okay.
I get what you're saying. Okay. I think I think I agree. I felt like for it being a Hawkeye series, obviously they're setting up Kate Bishop. Yeah, I could have used some more Clint Barton moments.
Mm-hmm.
And then again, they really should have, when that rumor was out there that they were making their Black Widow and Hawkeye movie, I think that was the time to make it. Um, and then the actual Black Widow movie could have been, her final arc in a series
Mm.
of her appearances. Okay, I'm sorry. Now, Stephanie, would you like to talk about
Yes.
Yelena?
Elena. I know she's everybody's fan favorite. Like it's just unreal. She has this is only her second appearance, and like her fans are like getting up there on Twitter and on Tumblr. Like she has fans now, like real fans. And the good thing is that Florence Pugh is such a good actress, and I really enjoyed this whole everyone's like learning how to read now. Like the movies came out, so now everyone wants to read comics, you know?
Oh, right. So they're kind of
So,
reigniting that
mhm.
drive in
So
people's
I'm loving that. So I'm like reading, on Tumblr now. It's like all these people are like, oh, like, oh, Elena's backstory is this, and it's like really cool and interesting. It's giving people who wrote these things, some probably a little like pep in their step,
Mhm.
most likely. Um, I just like I said, I wanted to know when the Avengers came back post blip, did they have like a conference like saying, hey, we went into the quantum realm and we also went to like three different planets and we also did all this stuff. Like, because for someone to say that Clint's responsible for killing your sister, or we were on a planet and one of us had to make a sacrifice, how would that information have gotten back to Yelena?
Let's assume let's assume that the suits they were wearing, designed by Stark, were recording at all times. Let's assume that since some Stark tech was stolen, somebody maybe have hacked into the actual events that happened. Let's also assume that someone as boastful as Thor was telling people, you know, about what he did on his adventures. Not necessarily what Hawkeye and Black Widow did, but at least, you know, them coming to find him and talking him into, going to help them fight one last time. So I think information, and it's a significant enough event for information to have leaked out.
Okay. Okay. So, when they saw each other and they were fighting, I, I feel like in my brain, I knew they could have done something really evil, like actually have Yelena like full on stab him or shoot him or something, and just have him die. Like I was like, I'm not mentally prepared for that, but just in case, I'm gonna get mentally prepared for that because I wanted to know how that would play out. Because if they would have ended the series with like Clint Barton's death, Kate Bishop's birth, I thought that would have been interesting. But then I think like I'm sure people would have been so sad that he just left, like that he died and left his wife and his three kids after the blip. Like that'd be just really fucking sad.
That would be tragic.
That'd be really sad.
Mhm.
I just like I'd like that scene of them fighting because, Yelena, but it kind of felt like, okay, we know he's not gonna die. We know she's not gonna die.
No
Dude,
stakes.
yeah, no stakes fight. Thank you. I was trying to say something like that.
Mhm. I think
Yeah,
that's
that
the
was
problem. That's kind of the problem with some of these shows is that, unfortunately, I don't know if it's on them or not, but unfortunately, we know their contracts before they even start shooting everything. So we know that this person is signed on for X amount of appearances. You know what I'm saying? So
mhm.
yeah, everything we know too much, and too much information is leaked.
Yeah, especially nowadays.
So yeah, it's hard to really give us that tension, especially when especially when they've gotten rid of shows already like Agents of Shield, which could actually do that kind of stuff because they had the GH325 or whatever, where they could kill someone and bring someone back.
Woo!
I
I
went
was
all the
just
way
thinking
down
of
to my
no,
bag for that.
and I was just thinking about that because we have restarted it
Yeah,
and we were creeping up on that episode.
yeah.
Man,
But yeah, agreed. It's a no stakes situation. So we at this point we're just watching people, doing it just to do it. Um,
doing it
do you
just
think
to do
do you
it.
think that they should give us more scares and more fake outs, or do you think that would upset people more?
I mean, what do you think?
If I'm thinking about fake outs, I wasn't upset about Toby's Spider-Man being stabbed because I thought it was. I know it's like
It's just sort of like I was also thinking about No Way Home.
we're excited. But yeah, like when he got stabbed in that moment, I was like, but in that moment, I was like, you know what? I'm okay with this because Toby has had a fantastic run as Spider-Man. I am okay with this. But then I found out he was okay, and I'm like, oh, okay, I love this even more because maybe we'll see him again.
Yeah, of course, of course,
So
of course, of course.
yeah, so I think but it's also hard to do that kind of stuff too if you're. It's a weird playing field because if you do fake outs too many times, like you did with Loki, it's like when he actually did die in Infinity War, we didn't. Well, I initially didn't take it seriously. I was half expecting him to show
I
up.
did.
I
In
didn't.
Infinity War, I was just like, oh, I was just like, okay. I was just like, he's had a good run. Like, he's been
Yeah.
here since 2011. He was the first villain. I can come to terms with his death
Okay.
because
I didn't initially accept it. I was half
I
expecting him
accepted
to
it.
show up again later on.
Oh,
Yeah.
because I think it was after that show when they announced the Loki series. And it wasn't after Infinity War when they announced the Loki series. Let me
I
Google
think
it.
so. I think you're right because he was
Oh God, I just thought about the theme song for Loki. I'm gonna change my
it's
ringtone
so
now
good.
because my ringtone is still the Avengers.
I think actually that's probably my favorite. It's that one and probably the one for WandaVision because it's so darn catchy.
Which one for WandaVision? September 2018. So after Infinity War.
Not the end credits song, the song that would play during the end credits of WandaVision. Why can't I think of it?
Oh, the please hold, please stand by.
Oh yeah.
I don't. I have. I would have to watch it.
Okay. I'm also like not hitting the right key or pitch probably. Nor can I hold a tune.
You can?
No. Was that a tune?
Beats the hell out of me. I don't know.
No. I'm just kidding. All right. Are we how you feeling about anything else you wanna
Okay. Okay. You're gonna have to edit a lot of this.
I might leave it the whole way through. Just start.
Overall, I love Yelena. I like that she came to the show because I obviously want to see more of her at all times.
Do you think we'll see any other do you think we'll see Red Guardian or Melina? Melinda?
Melina, I think.
Melina? And now that I say it out loud to myself, I'm thinking of Mortal Kombat. Wasn't her name also Melina?
What's it?
Yeah. Anywho, do you think we'll see them again?
Yes.
Okay.
No, but yes. Like
Okay.
I can understand if I never see them again, but I can understand if I see them again someday.
Okay. Do you expect to see Hawkeye show up in the next Captain America movie? Like you think we'll see him again in the films? He's not I don't feel like he's done with the films. To me
Who?
personally. Hawkeye. Clint's Hawkeye.
Oh,
If we're gonna see a Captain America with Sam Wilson, then I think to me it would fit if he were to show up.
I mean, if he comes back, he comes back.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't expecting to see him. I thought this was special. I thought this is actually his retirement like show.
Oh, okay. You might
That's
be
how I
right.
saw it. That's why I thought the whole point of
Because
him.
Laura's about to get back out there.
Well,
So
I mean, if there is more meat to that story, I mean, if we don't see any type of anything for the watch, then that was just a waste of time
yeah.
to me. I don't know. I could be the only one that feels that way, but I don't really care.
All right. Well, I guess that's it on us and Clint Barton, Hawkeye, and Kate Bishop.
Yep, that sums it up.
Title exchange has commenced, and we will see where this goes.
Bye.
Bye.